you know you have become a big-time basketball school when you're doing basketball press conferences in September the 4th. Unbelievable. I mean, we make the sweet. That's great, man. Hey, we have officially arrived. We are a legit big-time basketball program. First time I've seen Coach Brownell all fall, just for the record. Nice of him to show up and see us. It's been very hot, and basketball coaches like to stay inside and all that stuff. But nice of him to come over here today in the air conditioning and join us today. But I am pumped about our basketball team, though, and apparently we've already started practice. So I'm excited about it. I think we're gonna have a heck of a team, but we got some business at hand here in football before we can get to that. We got a big challenge this week for sure. Huge challenge. This is like another opener. We just don't know a lot about Texas A&M. Unfortunately, this is. I think the unknown is a competitive advantage for them. Hopefully, our experience can be a competitive advantage for us. But this is a difficult game to prepare for us, for sure, because, I'm watching Notre Dame and Florida State and Wake Forest and, all these different schools, but yet you're not really you don't have much to watch the actual people. So we don't have a lot of video evidence against these guys. So it truly is like another opener all over again. So huge challenge. Really impressed with Texas A&M, just watching in the one game last year and going back, and even though their schemes were very different, watching film from last year, just kind of looking at their personnel and just athletically who they are. Defensively, they're stout. I mean, they got some big dudes up front. At number 34 he's a earth mover. 8's a very good player. 46 led the SEC in sacks last year. Very, very, very talented. They got a lot of guys back on defense that started at different times last year. Very good in the secondary. I think their safeties are as good as we're probably going to see. These are really, really talented players at safety. I'd say all four of their starters in the secondary are probably going to play in the NFL. Pretty easy to see that. They've got size and length and great looking on the hoof type guys at backer. But impressed with them up front. That's kind of where it all starts. And their D coordinator came from Notre Dame. He was a guy that was at Wake Forest, and I was really, really happy when he left and went to Notre Dame because he was one of the best that we saw year in and year out. Does a great job schematically, especially coaching those guys up in the secondary. I think they do as good a job as anybody at route reading and diagnosing the play. Reading the quarterback, and just really being disciplined on their keys. So, very impressed with schematically what they do. And then, studying all the Notre Dame stuff and kind of some of the things where they've evolved. And then, obviously, just the one game to go on this year. But it should be a challenge, to kind of figure out just what their plan is going to be and then making the right adjustments to give our guys a chance to be successful. Offensively, very impressed with their quarterback. And the more I watched of him, really impressive athlete. I've met him. He actually came here. I think came in camp one summer, but he's incredibly athletic, but he's got a lot of moxie. And, he kind of won me over when I'm watching him run the lead option, and then he pitches the ball, and then he's 20 yards down the field leading the way blocking. He's not a prima donna type of guy. This kid is gritty and very easy to see, how he's won his team and has become a great leader for him. Really impressive. Made some big-time throws. I know they played a team that really did not match up well with them last week, but he made some really, really nice throws. Great throw on the sideline. Two really big-time throws to their tight end. 81 is a guy that transferred in there that I think he kind of fits the mold of what Jimbo has always had in the past at the tight end position. They had a nice little chemistry going in game one. So definitely impressive with 11's ability to throw the ball. They rushed for 500 yards. Let me say that again. They rushed for 500 yards. So, again, I know the team didn't match up with them well, but it's hard to rush for 500 yards. I don't care who you play. And I thought their back did a tremendous job. You know, Five had 240 yards, and they're really talented outside. If you really study their roster, these are really highly recruited guys, highly recruited up front. They're all 300-plus pounders in the offensive line. So it's a complete football team that we're getting ready to play. Make no mistake about it. And obviously, you know, got a lot of respect for Jimbo. He's a heck of a football coach, and you know, he'll have his guys ready, and new energy, new chemistry, new schemes on both sides of the ball. So big challenge, but something that we're really looking forward to for our team. What I'm looking for is to see our team, you know, go on the road and stay focused and display our experience that we have. They'll and adjust to the adversity that's going to be within the game, because there's going to be adversity. It's early in the season. This is a huge game for both teams. There will be a ton of energy. It's game day. It's all that stuff. Man, that's fun. And I want to see our team embrace that. And win or lose, this is the type of game that I think makes you better and gives you a chance to grow your team as you go through the season. So it's exciting to be in these games, and really looking forward to it.
Coach, any update on Jordan Williams, whether you expect him to be able to play Saturday?
Yeah, right now he's just, you know, still day to day.
Coach, you guys play in some great road venues. Have you ever coached or played at Kyle Field?
Yeah. I was a part of that butt whipping we took out there in 04. Couldn't get home soon enough. That's one of we got destroyed out there. I remember it all too well. I remember I don't even know where we started. That's the only time I've ever been in Texas for a football game, you know, as a player or coach. I never never coached out in Texas, never played out in Texas. And I just remember it was my second year here, and we flew out there. And, I mean, it seemed like we stayed like an hour and a half away. I mean, we stayed, I don't even know where we were, but we were a long way away. And I'll never forget it. Back in those days, everybody just kind of wore their warm-ups. That just was the way things were. But we got on the buses, and we had no air conditioning. And I remember vividly getting off the bus, and everybody had their pants pulled up, had their shirt. We looked like, you know, North Dallas 40 or something, getting off the bus. I mean, we were a bad-looking bunch, and everybody was sweating, and in my mind, I remember going, "This is fixing to be a long day," and it was. They absolutely kicked our tails all over the field that night, but it was a great experience to see that venue. It's an incredible game day environment, and one I know our guys will be excited to play in, and hopefully we can do a little better than we did 14 years ago.
Make sure you get some air conditioning in this trip.
Yes. Yeah, we're not staying that far either. I think we're pretty close by. I think maybe about 3 miles away. So yeah, we'll have a little better plan.
Coach, didn't get to ask you the other night. I was interested in how you thought Sean Pollard played at guard after watching the film, and who else stood out on the offensive line grade-wise? Yeah, well,
Ankrum was our MVP. He was our player of the game. I thought he played outstanding. Pollard did well. I thought Cade Stewart came in and played well. You know, that was one thing in watching the tape that I really wanted to see. But I thought Bockhorst was physical. He moved some people. I thought the same thing with Cade when he came in there. He led our team in knockdowns in the offensive line, and but Pollard did a good job. I think all those guys did a good job. We had a couple of instances where we could have been a little tighter on a couple of our double teams, but you know they did a nice job. Really had everybody had it up. You know, we didn't turn people loose. We had the one sack, but that was on our tight end. You know, he's supposed to be blocking. He's running a route. So that's a problem. You know, so our offensive line, you know, didn't give up a sack, so I thought they protected the quarterback well. Mitch played well, but Ankrum was our offensive MVP.
Some of the players mentioned yesterday using virtual reality to kind of help them prepare for Kyle Field. How does that work, and kind of what do they see when they put on that?
Yeah, well, they're going to have a hard time getting prepared for Kyle Field because we haven't been there. None of these guys have been there, so they won't have anything. Virtual reality wasn't around in '04. That I knew of, but you know, typically for us, what we try to do is everywhere we go, you know, our video people before the game or at the end of the game, they'll try to capture just the presence of the stadium, and so basically, it's a good tool if you got a guy that maybe's not been somewhere, you know. You can go there literally. You put these virtual things on, and it's literally like you're standing there. So you want to know what it's like. So we'll use it in recruiting a lot. So you want to know what it's like to be at Death Valley. Well, they can put that on, and like, what's game day like? And it's not like you're watching a video of game day. You're literally there, and you're turning around and you see me and you see the crowd, and you know, it's like it's the craziest thing. But that's just a very small component to how we use the virtual reality. We use it to prepare our guys. You know, we load up all the blitzes, and we've had it for probably 4 years now, 3 or 4 years. But we use it for all of our quarterbacks. Use it from a 7-on-7. I mean, they can basically run through a whole script, and because we have everything loaded up in our library. And so we can create whatever coverage we want based on the video that we have, and it's literally like you're there.